What is your higher purpose? What is your grand vision? What mission are you on? These are big questions that a lot of us are asking ourselves, and we're living in a time when more seems possible than ever, so it feels good to find answers. But do these big questions get us what we want, or are we missing something important? My name's Rich Watkins from Let's Go, and I've been working with organisations on where they're headed for over a decade. So setting strategies, creating innovations, and working with organisational meaning making. So things like organisational values or vision. And I also work with personal growth, which is navigating similar waters at an individual level. And in the world right now, there seems to be a lot of emphasis put on finding our higher purpose. So here, I want to raise a flag for its grittier, more grounded cousin, commitment. And I see organisations and individuals often getting a bit lost in lofty questions about where they're going and why they exist and what the future they want to create. As individuals or as collectives, what happens when we divert a bit of our attention towards our immediate commitments? And here's what I like about commitments. First, commitments are ordinary. A lot of the talk about higher purpose is about you as individually or as an organisation finding something unique to do in the world, a grand vision of making a dent in the universe. And what a thrill to be so significant and to leave a mark. But what if grandeur and uniqueness isn't the best or only measure of our lives? Because commitments don't ask you to be unique or grand. Put simply, a commitment is what you care about, what you will sacrifice for. You can commit to a profession, to honing a skill. You can commit to doing better than you did last year. And there is a paradox here, because sometimes by coming to terms with the ordinariness and committing, we shine brighter than if we keep striving to be unique and special. We take our right and proper place, and more than that, taking ordinary steps is actually the only way to get extraordinary achievements. Also, commitments are practical. A higher purpose is an idea about why something matters, and this can be inspiring and invigorating, and it can give us a picture of the future that we're trying to create, but it can also be a bit abstract. And often where we get stuck is what to actually do about it in the here and now. Because there are always tactical choices, always multiple paths we could take. So what will we commit to? Where will we put our resources? Commitments are actions, not ideas. I'm committed to finishing this project. I'm committed to investing in a particular relationship. Commitments are the labour of getting specific things done and involves facing into ambiguities, challenges and setbacks. They're not as glamorous as purposes, but they feel beautifully tangible because you can tick them off a list. You can take pride in the things you do. And also, commitments can be messy. And people often talk about a purpose as a North Star that you can navigate by. It's single-minded, it's clear, it's bright and unchanging. But this clarity isn't always so forthcoming in the clouds of life, but commitments don't live in the sky, they're down on the ground with us, and they can be overlapping and even competing. I'm committed to helping leaders, I'm committed to the long-term success of my business, I'm committed to sharing useful ideas, and I'm also committed to my young family. And sometimes all of these align beautifully, and sometimes they're in tension in different ways. And I don't have to pick. I have to find my way in the complexity of a life with overlapping commitments. And this likely involves sacrifices and trade-offs, and how I balance them will change over time. This is the real world of commitments. And when the context shifts, even our commitments might need to shift. So a global pandemic might have an organisation forget other commitments and commit to survival, cutting costs and making tough decisions. When an important project or relationship is breaking down, it might be appropriate to make a commitment to exit. Look, I'm not saying the purpose doesn't matter. I love finding compelling answers to big questions. What I'm saying is that often our biggest challenge isn't in the abstract world of why. It's finding ground in the what, getting secure footing. It's not glamorous, it's ordinary. It's not conceptual, it's practical. And it's not ideal, it's messy. But we don't need to rise above the realities of life. We need to participate with them. And while it's true that a compelling purpose is easier to make coherent commitments, it also works the other way around. So if you pay attention to your commitments, like what you're saying yes to, what you're saying no to, noticing when that feels good in your gut, you will get a clearer sense of purpose naturally emerging without having to spend a lot of energy searching for it. So if you're stressing about your higher purpose as an organization or an individual, trying to find it or shape it or capture it and getting a bit lost in words and ideas, what would it be like if you let go of it for a while and asked a different question? In the ordinary, practical and messy reality you actually live in, what are you committed to? Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel and let me know if there's any ideas you want to see explored or any questions you've got.